What if the relentless pursuit of external validation, the constant need to explain and justify yourself, was actually holding you back from a life of profound peace and undeniable achievement? Imagine a moment where the endless noise of the world recedes, where distractions melt away and a crystal-clear vision of your true path emerges. This isn't about isolation, it's about inner mastery, a powerful truth that, much like Dale Carnegie taught us about winning friends and influencing people, starts not with grand pronouncements, but with a quiet, strategic self-awareness. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore how turning inward and embracing the power of silence can transform your very presence, sharpen your purpose, and align every aspect of your life, drawing success and genuine connection to you like a magnet. Don't miss a single insight, because the path to unlocking your true potential lies in understanding these often overlooked principles. If you find value in this journey, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to join our community dedicated to personal growth and impactful living. The power of silence. This alignment occurs not because you exert force, not because you tirelessly manipulate circumstances to fit your preconceived notions, but precisely because you finally release the need to control and allow things to unfold naturally. In the profound embrace of silence, you begin to forge an inner resilience, a foundational strength that renders you unshakable in the face of adversity. This isn't the superficial stoicism of a hardened exterior, but the deep-rooted calm of one who has found solid ground within themselves. And within the sanctuary of your own solitude, you discover an unstoppable momentum, a profound clarity of purpose that propels you forward with unwavering resolve. This inner focus, coupled with the strategic choice of silence, emerges as the ultimate key, a master key, if you will, to unlocking immense personal power, cultivating an enduring sense of peace, and achieving a life of profound alignment. It is the understanding that true strength isn't broadcast with loud pronouncements, but meticulously built in the quiet corners of the soul. From the perspective of human interaction, as Dale Carnegie might suggest, this inner quietude is not about isolation, but about preparation for more meaningful engagement. A person who is unshakable and unstoppable from within doesn't need to dominate conversations or constantly seek attention. Instead, their presence carries a natural authority because their inner world is in order. When they do speak, their words carry weight, precisely because they are not born of anxiety or a desperate need to be heard, but from a place of considered thought and genuine intention. Silence, in this context, becomes the fertile soil for ideas, for empathy, for understanding. It allows you to truly listen, not just hear what others are saying, a cornerstone of effective human relations. By quieting the internal chatter and the external noise, you are better able to perceive the nuances of a situation, to understand the perspectives of others, and to formulate responses that are not merely reactive, but genuinely constructive. This is the difference between simply talking and truly communicating. The latter requires a depth of presence that only silence can cultivate. It's in these moments of quiet reflection that you discern what truly matters to you, and crucially, what truly matters to those you seek to understand or influence. This genuine understanding is a far more potent tool than any argument or persuasive speech, for it forms the bedrock of trust and sincere connection, which Carnegie championed above all else. Order born from chaos. You were not brought into this world to perpetually chase after external clamor, to become a mere echo in the cacophony of others' expectations and demands. For far too long, many of us have spent a significant portion of our lives in a reactive state, constantly responding to the world's insistent noise. Voices from every corner seem to dictate our actions, to chart our course, to define what supposedly holds importance in our lives. They tell us where to go, what to do, what goals to pursue. But the profound truth, often obscured by this very noise, is that your innate purpose transcends the mere reaction to external stimuli. You were not designed to be a passive recipient of chaos. Rather, you were endowed with the remarkable capacity to create order out of it. The individual who expends their vital energy in a perpetual state of reaction, constantly battling against external forces or external opinions, never truly builds anything of lasting value. They are caught in an endless cycle of movement without progress, forever running in place, exhausting themselves without advancing a single step towards their true potential. However, a fundamental shift occurs when you intentionally direct your focus inward, when you begin to pay close attention to the whispers of your own thoughts. When you cultivate the habit of listening to that quiet inner voice, the authentic wisdom that resides deep within you, untainted by the world's clamor, you cease the frantic chase. This inner listening marks the pivotal moment when you transition from merely reacting to actively creating. Why is this inward focus so extraordinarily powerful? Because the world, by its very nature, will always present a relentless barrage of distractions. Gossip, petty criticism, effusive applause, soul-crushing rejection. These are but a few of the myriad forces that constantly vie for your attention. Yet, none of these external elements, whether positive or negative, possess the inherent capacity to build your dreams, to construct the life you envision for yourself. They are at best fleeting distractions and at worst, insidious saboteurs. Silence, on the other hand, is not merely the absence of noise. It is the fertile, life-giving soil where genuine ideas take root, where profound insights blossom, and where true innovation flourishes. It is the quiet workshop of the mind, where the raw materials of thought can be refined and shaped into purposeful action. When you consciously choose to remove the incessant external noise, you invariably discover what genuinely resonates with your core being, what truly matters to you on a fundamental level. You uncover your authentic desires and values, rather than blindly pursuing what others or society dictate should be important. This is the essence of self-mastery, defining your own terms of success and fulfillment, unswayed by external pressures, and then quietly, deliberately, working to bring that inner vision to fruition. Cultivating inner strength. Cultivating this profound inner strength is not an accidental byproduct of daily life. It is the deliberate result of conscious choice and consistent practice. To truly develop this reservoir of quiet power, you must cultivate the discipline to sit quietly and purposefully with your core objectives, your deepest aspirations, and your true mission in life. This means dedicating time, perhaps every morning, to review your overarching purpose, to reaffirm your commitment to it and to visualize its unfolding. It's an act of mental and spiritual grounding that sets the tone for your entire day. During these sacred moments, you must adamantly refuse to be disturbed. This requires a conscious effort to shut the door, both literally and metaphorically, to the intrusions of the external world. Protect your mind during this vital period with the same fierce dedication that a blacksmith employs to shield his fire from disruptive winds. Just as the fire needs to burn consistently and cleanly to forge strong metal, your mental focus needs to be protected from anything that might extinguish or scatter its intensity. Consider the hypothetical individual who never, under any circumstances, skips their dedicated quiet time before embarking on their daily work. This person makes a deliberate choice to avoid the idle chatter, the casual gossip, and the unproductive arguments that consume so much of others' time and energy. Their peers, caught in the endless cycle of external validation and superficial interaction, might mock them for being overly serious, for lacking the social graces, or for being too withdrawn. They might laugh at the person who consistently prioritizes deep work over shallow company. Yet, when a significant opportunity invariably arises, a chance for advancement, a complex problem requiring a clear mind, or a leadership role demanding unwavering resolve, this quietly diligent individual is the one who stands ready. They are prepared not by luck, but by meticulous, unseen cultivation. Their colleagues, caught in their own distractions, will wonder why this seemingly reserved person is consistently chosen, why they are always so composed and effective when challenges emerge. But you, having understood the profound principles of inner cultivation, will know the unequivocal reason. Their strength was forged and built in silence. The question then arises, do you with equal fervor guard your precious time as if it were a sacred trust? Or do you passively allow the world, with its countless demands and trivialities, to steal it away from you, minute by precious minute? Remember this fundamental truth. What is cultivated and nurtured in stillness endures and grows robustly. What is hastily developed and pursued amidst the ceaseless clamor of noise inevitably withers and fades away, leaving behind only exhaustion and unfulfilled potential. This principle, derived from the profound observation of human nature and effectiveness, emphasizes that true preparation happens in the unseen moments, and it is this hidden work that ultimately translates into visible, undeniable success. Strength built in silence. When an individual truly masters the art of stillness, a profound internal power begins to accumulate, a quiet force that remains largely invisible to the casual observer. This strength does not announce itself with a roar or flash, with ostentatious displays of bravado. Instead, it gathers much like an immense volume of water, silently accumulating behind a robust dam. It is a slow, steady, and deliberate process, growing in density and potency over time, silent, heavy, and ultimately unstoppable. Many people, in their earnest pursuit of progress, mistakenly equate constant movement with genuine advancement. They believe that busyness itself is a virtue, and that being in perpetual motion is synonymous with moving forward. However, not all motion leads to true progress. A significant number of individuals find themselves endlessly spinning their wheels, expending colossal amounts of energy, exhausting themselves completely, all while remaining precisely where they started, having gone absolutely nowhere of consequence. The crucial insight here is that you do not need to be everywhere, nor do you need to engage in every conversation or participate in every activity. Your true power lies not in omnipresence, but in effectiveness right where you are, in the focused application of your energy. And this profound effectiveness begins with the deliberate choice of stillness. It manifests in the conscious act of pausing to think deeply before you impulsively act, of carefully considering your words and their impact before you thoughtlessly speak. In the tranquil embrace of silence, your thoughts, which might otherwise scatter like dust in the wind, become focused, coherent tools, capable of precision and deep insight. Conversely, when your mind is perpetually assailed by noise, your thoughts become fragmented and ineffective, losing their power to shape your reality. This isn't merely a philosophical ideal, it's a practical blueprint for self-mastery and profound influence. Dale Carnegie's principles resonate deeply with this concept. He taught that effective communication and influence stem from thoughtful interaction, not from impulsive reactions or incessant chatter. A person who is still and composed before acting or speaking is far more likely to make a lasting, positive impression. Their words, when finally uttered, carry authority and sincerity because they are born of contemplation, not reaction. This quiet strength also allows for deeper observation of oneself, of others, and of the environment. By being present and silent, one can genuinely listen to others, a skill Carnegie emphasized as paramount for winning friends and influencing people. It's in the stillness that true understanding forms, allowing you to connect with others on a more profound level, to identify their needs and desires, and to offer solutions or perspectives that truly resonate. This quiet gathering of strength, therefore, serves not only personal growth but also enhances one's ability to navigate the complex landscape of human relations with grace, authority, and genuine impact. It allows your presence to be felt and respected, even before a single word is spoken. The value of attention. You must learn to master your attention with the meticulous vigilance of a warrior, guarding their most precious sword. This is not merely a suggestion, it is a fundamental law of effectiveness and achievement. There can be no genuine, sustainable progress in any endeavor without focused attention. And, by extension, there can be no true focus without the deliberate cultivation of silence. This is an immutable law, not a mere theory or an inspiring quote to be admired from a distance. It operates with the same undeniable force as gravity, which pulls you down to the earth. Similarly, the myriad distractions of the modern world exert an equally powerful, albeit often invisible, pull, drawing you away from your true purpose, eroding your inherent strength, and diverting you from the future you aspire to create. The harsh reality is that most individuals do not fail because they inherently lack talent or because they are deprived of opportunities. Far more often, they fall short of their potential because they utterly lack focus. Their attention is perpetually scattered, fragmented across an endless array of trivialities and external stimuli. Their presence, consequently, becomes diluted, as if their very essence is spread too thin. They exist everywhere and nowhere simultaneously, their minds flitting from one thought to another, one task to another, without ever fully committing to anything. Your attention is far more than a mere mental function. It is your most sacred and valuable possession. What you choose to dedicate your attention to is, in essence, what you choose to dedicate your life to. This is a profound truth. Where your attention flows, there too your vital energy flows. And where your energy goes, that is precisely where your future either grows into fruition or slowly decays into unfulfilled potential. Ponder this critical question. To what are you currently giving your attention? Is it to the constant stream of idle gossip that serves no productive purpose? Is it to the sensationalized news cycles that often induce anxiety without offering solutions? Are you primarily consuming noise, allowing your mind to be filled with information that distracts and drains? Or are you actively engaged in creating meaning, shaping your own narrative, and building something of substance every single time? You permit your mind to be stolen by trivialities, by the ephemeral and the insignificant. You are, in effect, willingly surrendering a piece of your innate power. The vast majority of people lose access to their full potential, not through one catastrophic mistake or a singular monumental failure, but through thousands of tiny, almost imperceptible leaks. Idle talk, unnecessary gatherings that offer no genuine value, the compulsive sharing or consumption of useless opinions. These are not harmless diversions. They are, in truth, insidious thieves. And what they relentlessly steal is priceless. Your time, your energy, and your focused attention, which are the very building blocks of a meaningful and impactful life. Silence as a weapon. A truly wise individual comprehends this fundamental truth about the value of attention. Consequently, they become utterly ruthless in guarding it. They do not dispense their attention freely, nor do they offer it indiscriminately to the pervasive noise of the world. They refuse to scatter it like discarded scraps upon every passing stimulus. Instead, they exercise a profound and deliberate choice over what is permitted to enter their minds, approaching this decision with the same strategic discernment that a seasoned warrior applies to choosing their battles. Their approach is deliberate, marked by thoughtful consideration. Decisive, ensuring that their choices are firm and clear, and fundamentally defensive, actively protecting their inner world from unwanted intrusions. Just as a skilled swordsman meticulously sharpens his blade to ensure its effectiveness, you too must relentlessly sharpen your focus. Keep your focus clean, free from clutter and contamination. Keep it protected from anything that might dull its edge or divert its aim. And, most importantly, use it with a precise and unwavering intention. Treat your attention like a finely crafted weapon, because in a world increasingly overwhelmed by distraction, focused attention is the ultimate source of power. When you commit to this inward focus, something truly remarkable begins to happen. Your vital energy, which was once leaking away through countless trivial engagements and scattered thoughts, no longer dissipates. Instead, it begins to accumulate and multiply within you, creating a self-sustaining reservoir of vigor. Your mind becomes lighter, unburdened by the weight of external pressures and unnecessary information. With this newfound mental clarity, ideas, fresh, innovative, and deeply insightful, begin to surface effortlessly, seemingly appearing out of nowhere. Time itself appears to stretch and expand, allowing you to accomplish more with greater depth and less frantic effort. Even the smallest steps you take feel significant, imbued with purpose and meaning. You begin to see the world with profound clarity, discerning truths and patterns that others miss amidst the chaos. You feel more deeply, your emotional responses becoming richer and more authentic, unclouded by external noise, and your movements, both physical and metaphorical, become deliberate, each action imbued with intention and purpose. Conversely, when you allow your attention to be scattered, when you permit yourself to be pulled in a multitude of directions simultaneously, you inevitably grow weak. This weakening is not a reflection of any inherent flaw in your character, but rather a direct consequence of being divided. A significant portion of your mind remains trapped in the regrets of the past, while another segment anxiously projects into an uncertain future. A piece of your mental energy becomes entangled in someone else's drama or concerns, and yet another piece is perpetually lost in replaying yesterday's mistakes. This constant internal division, this fragmentation of your precious mental resources, leaves you feeling perpetually tired, chronically unfocused, and profoundly ineffective in bringing about any meaningful change or achievement in your life. This is why the deliberate choice of where to place your attention and the cultivation of silence to facilitate that focus is not merely a productivity hack, but a foundational principle for reclaiming your power and truly shaping your destiny. The depth of silence. There is an archetype that exists in every community, a figure often overlooked yet deeply respected, the old craftsman. He is a man of few words, rarely engaging in idle chatter or self-promotion. You won't find him at every social gathering, nor does he chase after every fleeting trend or potential client. Instead, his life is defined by a singular, unwavering devotion. He sharpens one tool, meticulously hones one specific skill, and remains steadfastly committed to one overarching purpose. Day after day, year after year, he dedicates himself to this quiet, consistent work. And at the end of his journey, when the fleeting stars of public attention have long since burned out and others have faded into exhaustion or obscurity, he emerges as the undeniable master, the trusted authority upon whom everyone else comes to rely. The profound reason for his enduring success is simple. He meticulously preserved his attention, choosing to invest it solely in what truly mattered. He deliberately chose silence, and within that profound quietude he forged not just a craft but true greatness. The modern world, in its relentless pursuit of stimulation and constant connectivity, paradoxically harbors a deep-seated fear of silence. It abhors any vacuum, rushing to fill every conceivable gap with an unending stream of noise. Music blares in every car, advertisements assault us from every app, and opinions proliferate in every corner of our digital and physical spaces. We have been conditioned, almost from birth, to fill every waking moment, every single second, with something, anything, to avoid the perceived emptiness of quiet. Yet, a man of genuine depth, a woman of profound wisdom, actively seeks the antithesis of this constant barrage. They carve out silence from their lives as if it were the most precious gold, precisely because it is. Silence, in this profound sense, is not merely the absence of sound, it is the vibrant presence of self. It is the sacred space where your focus sharpens to a laser-like intensity, where your willpower, often fragmented by external demands, returns to its cohesive strength, and where the blueprint of your future slowly, deliberately takes form. So reflect deeply and ask yourself, are you treating your mind, the most powerful tool at your disposal, like a finely honed sword, meticulously cared for and used with precision? Or are you handling it like a discarded rag, allowing it to become soiled and ineffective by constant exposure to trivialities? Do you move through life with purposeful precision, each action a conscious choice, or do you drift aimlessly, buffeted by every passing distraction? Do you consciously choose your thoughts, directing your internal dialogue towards constructive ends, or do they simply choose you, leading you down pathways of unproductive rumination or external reactivity? Every minute you consciously choose to spend in silence is not merely a pause. It is a profound investment in your personal and professional growth. Every hour of focused, undisturbed work is a sharpening stone for your skills, refining your abilities to an unparalleled degree. And every deliberate decision to ignore the trivial, to turn away from the superficial noise, is a powerful declaration. My mind is mine, my future is mine, my power is mine. This deliberate assertion of control over your inner world is the ultimate act of self-ownership, leading to a life of profound purpose and undeniable impact. Growth in the dark. You grow most rapidly and profoundly when no one is watching. When your efforts are undertaken in obscurity, far from the admiring glances or critical judgments of the crowd. Most individuals, driven by a natural human desire for affirmation, yearn for the appearance of victory. They want to be seen embarking on the challenging ascent of the mountain, admired for their perceived progress along the way, and ultimately photographed triumphantly at the summit, basking in the glow of public recognition. However, very few possess the rare and quiet fortitude to undertake the arduous climb in silence, without fanfare or an audience. Even fewer still are genuinely willing to endure the sweat and toil in obscurity, to stumble and fall in secret, and to rise again, perhaps bruised but resolute, without a single witness to their struggle or their resurgence. Their craving for public recognition, for the fleeting applause of the masses, often overshadows their deeper desire for genuine results. They chase the ephemeral praise more ardently than they pursue tangible, lasting progress. Yet all true greatness, the kind that endures and inspires across generations, invariably begins far away from the clamor of the crowd. It is in the unseen depths, in the fertile darkness, that the roots of anything powerful take hold and expand. You don't witness these roots directly. They are hidden beneath the surface, but they are undeniably present, gripping the earth, expanding relentlessly, tirelessly preparing the majestic tree to eventually rise into the light. No strong individual becomes truly strong in front of a global audience. True strength is forged when no one is looking, in the solitude of an empty room, when there is no hand to clap in encouragement, no eye to watch your struggle, no voice to offer comforting words. That is precisely where true strength is born, where unwavering resilience is meticulously built, brick by silent brick. The individual who masters the art of rising repeatedly in silence, independent of external validation, becomes, in essence, indestructible. They do not require applause to initiate their efforts, nor do they anxiously await validation to sustain their progress. Their drive is entirely internal, fueled by an intrinsic commitment to their purpose. While others vociferously articulate their grand plans, this silent doer is already in the midst of executing them. While others post meticulously curated updates about their goals on social media, this person is quietly, relentlessly mastering the grind. While others desperately seek admiration, this individual seeks only refinement, understanding that true mastery is its own reward. This individual understands with profound clarity that the authentic path to greatness is often a solitary one. But this very solitude is not a burden. It is sacred. It is the metaphorical furnace where all superficial noise is burned away, leaving behind only the pure essence of truth and purpose. Why is this isolation so essential? Because the world, ultimately, pays attention only to outcomes, not to intentions. No one is genuinely rewarded for dreams eloquently spoken, but only for dreams unequivocally achieved. You can spend your entire life passionately proclaiming to others how desperately you desire success, how unwavering your commitment is, or how serious your goals are. But unless you are diligently working when no one sees, putting in the unnoticed hours of effort, all your declarations amount to nothing more than empty words. When you cease the exhausting endeavor of trying to prove that you are improving, you miraculously create the necessary space for actual, profound improvement to occur. Genuine growth demands a profound sense of freedom, and you are most truly free when you are completely alone with your work, liberated from the crushing pressure to impress, free from the insidious trap of comparison, and completely unburdened by the fear of judgment. In this sacred solitary space, you possess the invaluable freedom to fail without shame, to stumble and learn without the piercing gaze of public scrutiny, and to succeed without the distracting clamor of external noise. You can experiment, refine, and evolve continuously, unencumbered by the demand for immediate perfection. In silence, your mind sharpens, your identity solidifies, and your mission becomes unequivocally clear, guiding you with an unwavering hand towards your true destiny. The power of reserve. In every community, there exists the figure of the quiet apprentice, seemingly unnoticed by the bustling world around him. He is reserved, rarely speaks of his ambitions, and certainly isn't the center of attention. Yet day after day, in the quiet solitude of the back workshop, he meticulously hones his skill. He makes mistakes, sometimes repeatedly, but he fixes them, learns from them, and then creates something better. He watches, he listens, he absorbs knowledge, ever learning. While his peers frantically chase after approval, he, with quiet determination, pursues excellence. And then one day, without fanfare or grand announcement, the old master of the craft steps down. To the astonishment of everyone, it is the quiet boy, the one who worked diligently in the shadows, who rises to lead. Not because he clamored for the position, but because he unequivocally earned it. More importantly, he was ready. His preparation was invisible to the public eye, his discipline unseen by the masses. But now his readiness is undeniable, his mastery self-evident. This is the profound truth of how genuine power operates. It doesn't shout, it doesn't advertise its coming, it simply becomes. When the opportune moment finally arrives, the individual who has diligently grown in the obscurity of the dark, meaning in private, away from public scrutiny, doesn't hesitate. They don't flinch or second-guess themselves. They step forward with a calm certainty, not out of arrogance, but from a deep, unshakable conviction born of consistent, quiet, and complete work. The real question confronting us is not merely whether you desire success, for most people do. The truly profound question is whether you are willing to build your success in silence. Can you maintain your discipline when no one is watching, when there's no immediate feedback, no likes on a post, no approving eyes upon your effort? Can you continue to show up day after day when there's no external recognition, when it feels as if no one cares about your mission? Because if you can valiantly fight through those lonely mornings of effort, grind through those empty nights of dedication, and meticulously refine your craft without the gratifying sound of applause, then you will not merely grow, you will unequivocally rise. And when the world finally perceives the formidable individual you have become, it won't matter that they missed the painstaking process. You won't need their fleeting praise or their belated recognition. You will already be strong, already prepared, already undeniably great. That is the ultimate reward of cultivating growth in the dark, not merely success as an external achievement, but an unparalleled sense of self-possession. Not just fleeting admiration, but an undeniable and profound mastery over your chosen domain. Not just being seen, but becoming truly unshakable at your core. Silence, therefore, is not merely an absence. It is the vigilant guard at the gate of your personal power. Your strength does not vanish in a single dramatic moment. It doesn't disappear with one solitary mistake or one slight misstep. No, it leaks away slowly, subtly, almost invisibly, like water from a tiny crack in a vessel. It diminishes word by careless word, through meaningless conversations, empty chatter, and nervous over-explanatory justifications. Every single time you speak without clear purpose or intention, you willingly surrender a piece of your inherent power. The tragedy in this silent erosion is that you rarely notice it happening in real time. But the individual who learns to hold their tongue, who masters the discipline of intentional speech, begins to accumulate and store their power. Like water meticulously contained in a sealed jar, their energy remains concentrated, preserved. Their silence is not a sign of weakness, it is an act of conservation, a state of meticulous preparation, and a profound demonstration of self-control. Silence is not an emptiness to be filled, it is a rigorous discipline to be cultivated. A person who governs their mouth, who exercises conscious control over what they say and when they say it, invariably governs their entire life. Their thoughts remain sharp, unclouded by reactive impulses. Their emotions remain steady and balanced, impervious to trivial provocations, and when they finally choose to speak, their words land with the resounding impact of hammers, few, clear, and precise, resonating with undeniable authority. This is a profound principle that far too many people disregard in our hyper-expressive world. Often, the loudest person is, paradoxically, the weakest. The one who feels the most desperate need to be heard is typically the one most consumed by the fear of being forgotten. But true strength does not seek noise or attention. Strength radiates quietly, unmistakably, demanding respect through its very presence. A truly powerful individual listens far more than they speak. They study, they observe, they learn. They allow others to reveal their true nature while they themselves remain unread, their cards held close. They are not rushed to respond, not eager to impress, and certainly not afraid of the potent stillness of silence, because they understand that true influence is born in restraint, not in performance, not in persuasion through endless words, but in a compelling, authoritative presence. When you speak constantly, you inevitably dilute the impact of your message. You inadvertently reveal your doubts, your insecurities, your distractions. You broadcast more than you build, scattering your influence rather than consolidating it. But when you speak rarely, and only with deliberate purpose, your voice carries an undeniable weight. People lean in. They listen intently, not because you shout, but because your very silence has made your words a rare and valuable commodity. There's a reason why the wise elders of history, the battle-hardened generals, and the ancient kings all shared one common defining trait: measured speech. It wasn't born of uncertainty, but from a profound understanding that every word carries a cost, and every unnecessary word weakens the speaker's position and dilutes their power. They spoke not to fill space, but to precisely shape it, to sculpt reality with their deliberate pronouncements. Consider a commander on the battlefield. He walks without boasting. He doesn't bark orders at random. He surveys the terrain, reads the unfolding situation. His very stillness signals an unwavering certainty. His silence in itself commands. And when he does speak, it is not with volume, but with a chilling finality. A few chosen words, a single, decisive order. and everything shifts, the course of events irrevocably altered. His authority stems not from the sheer quantity of what he says, but from the immense power of what he meticulously withholds. That is the transformative power of silence. It creates an aura of mystery, it breeds undeniable authority, and it mercilessly sharpens focus. People begin to truly notice you, not because you are loud, but because you are rare. They listen to your every word because you do not squander them like loose change. You speak as if every syllable is measured in gold, precious and impactful. This is precisely why silence must be consciously trained. It does not come naturally to most. Many individuals talk to soothe their own nerves, to desperately prove their worth, or merely to fill awkward gaps in conversation. But a man of true depth learns to sit in silence as if it were a throne, a place of power and profound reflection. He becomes profoundly comfortable with quietude. He allows careful reflection to replace impulsive reaction. He chooses to write his thoughts down, to refine them internally rather than blurting them out. He thinks deeply before replying. And through this rigorous self-restraint, he begins his ascent. Ask yourself honestly, are you diligently guarding your power, or are you unwittingly giving it away day by day through careless speech? How many times have you weakened your position by over-explaining yourself? How many victories have you squandered by trying to win trivial arguments that ultimately held no real significance? How often have you traded your precious inner peace for the fleeting, petty thrill of being right? Learn to hold your fire. Not every insult warrants a response. Not every challenge deserves a counter. Silence, strategically deployed, can end battles before they even begin, because nothing is more profoundly unsettling to an aggressor than a person who utterly refuses to be provoked. Their calm becomes unsettling. Their quietude becomes commanding. The world may mock silence, mistaking it for weakness, but those who truly understand its immense power wield it with devastating effectiveness. They do not rush to speak. They do not argue merely to win. They allow their tangible results to speak for them, with an eloquence no words can match. And when their words finally do emerge, they are received with the gravity and wisdom of prophecy. In the ultimate reckoning, true strength resides not in the sheer volume of your voice, but in the profound value of your silence. Guard it, train it, master it. Because silence, when fully owned and wielded with purpose, makes you truly unstoppable. As we conclude this journey into the profound power of silence and self-focus, remember that the true measure of your impact isn't found in how loudly you speak, but in the quiet strength you cultivate within. Just as Dale Carnegie taught us the art of influence through genuine connection and thoughtful action, the deepest connections you form and the most lasting achievements you forge will stem from the mastery of your own inner world. It's in the unseen hours, the moments of deliberate quietude, that you truly sharpen your mind, fortify your resolve, and align your life's purpose. So, step away from the incessant noise, guard your attention fiercely, and commit to the silent, disciplined work that builds true excellence. The world needs more individuals who lead with quiet clarity and undeniable presence. Embrace the power of your own reserve, and watch as your actions begin to speak with a weight and authority no words ever could. If this message resonated with you, if it sparked a new way of thinking about your power and presence, then please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to explore the timeless principles that empower you to live a life of greater purpose, impact, and profound fulfillment.